We are live. Nobody ever watches the beginning anyway, so I'm going to chew on my Nature Valley sweet and salty nut almond bar because it's tasty. What's up, guys? Of course, you jump in early while I'm sitting here chewing on a freaking granola bar. It was quick. I've only been streaming like 10 seconds. These are pretty good. I got both printers printing tonight. That one is printing a new X carriage. I'm tired of the linear bearings and get rid of the round ones and how loud and obnoxious they are. No matter how much I oil, grease, or whatever them. So I'm going to convert it to a dual rod 2020. Which is right here. And it will be like so. Printing the other side of it. And yes, I know it's way wider than that printer because the next step is that printer is going to get wider and taller. Because then this printer, printing the big top, which you won't be able to see because all the wires and everything are in the way, but holy crap, it's big. And holy crap, I was an idiot and made the infill too high. And holy crap, it's burning through a lot of plastic. But oh well. It's big. It's really, really big. Put it this way. Well, here's the handle to the top. And the top is bigger than the whole plate of that one. It's more than 200 millimeters in diameter. And I could swear I only did 10% infill, but it looks more like 20 or 30. Oops. And it's been going since 7 o'clock this morning. So we are on hour 14 right now. Right? Actually, I think it was a little later than that. I actually started it. How many hours has it been going? Let's take a look. That's the thing. Let's see. It has been going for 13 hours and 27 minutes and 45 seconds. This one I just started a little while ago. It's already 30% done. And this is not perfect. This is just a beta version of this. What's up? Everybody's jumping in. What's up, Derry and Jake and Jakey Man, and John, and everybody's jumping right in here. A pile of 20-minute prints. What is a pile of 20-minute prints? Are you just going to print little poopies? Oh, I'm doing. You wait till you add to tell me about it. Oh, you can't see. I got to go back to non-screen sharing. You should see this thing that's on this printer. I don't know. Can I get it close enough to see it? Let's see. Let's see how the camera goes. Can we drag the camera over that far without disconnecting it? If I disconnect it, I'll just come back. There it is. It's on a 300 bed. It's like 240, I think, is the actual diameter of that plate. And it's there's a layer of the Snow Labs green. You can sort of see it through there. There you go. I can You sort of see how big that freaking thing is. It's big. And it's going to be heavy. I mean, this is the handle to it in comparison to this handle. How big it's going to be. I went a little nuts. It's been going all day. And that's building the other half of this. We're on the other side. This will be so much quieter and smoother running than that stupid linear bearing crap. It is large. And it is, you can't really see it, but it's, it's Snow Labs transparent fluorescent, which come to find out, they told me today, that's actually day glow. It glows under black light. Green, which is on the spool now. You can't really, it looks way dark on the camera. That is super, like, alien bright green. It's like super duper bright green. Then there's a thin layer of the bronze, thin stripe. And then in the middle of it, for 20 layers, which sounds like actually 20 millimeters, 20 millimeters of layers, is Hatchbox glow in the dark. Then it goes another thin layer. I think it's 5 millimeters or 4 millimeters, which is, and I'm actually printing at 2.2 layer height, or 0.22 layer height, not 0.20. I went to 0.22, just tried to make it go faster. And then it's going back to the Day-Glo green. It's on its last color. And it looks absolutely smashing. You can sort of see it on there, I guess. I can get closer now. I mean, the colors actually look pretty cool together because the middle band of glow in the dark is a green glow in the dark, so it has it's not on a rolling cart. It just has pads under the feet that I can slide it around. So, anyways, that's my project for the day. It's been running all day. Yeah, I actually all my printer, even this one over here. The printers actually have thick mouse pad cut and glued underneath, and the cabinets do too. So there's layers of mouse pad. Mouse pad is an awesome sound deadener. It's not perfect, but it definitely helps keep it from transferring through the floor. That's just a plywood box I built with a couple of scrap 2x4 legs. They're not even 2x4s, they're 1x. Actually, there's 2 1x and 2 2x4s. Just to keep it up off the floor. And have an extra layer of padding. And I'm going to eat one more bite of this because this is really good. Yes, mouse pad. Shouldn't talk with my mouth. Yeah, packing foam's all right. What's up, Minnesota? I didn't like that. I use the mouse pad because most mouse pads people don't really realize are multiple density. And you want that multiple density to insulate multiple different oscillation. Can't even say the words. Oscillation. There's the word. There's multiple oscillations coming out of your printer, and each one will make a different tone and make a different vibration. And most mouse pads are usually at least 2, if not 3 or 4, different densities of rubber. That's how they work. There's usually a bottom layer, a medium layer, and then the cloth that you actually roll it on. And believe it or not, that cloth layer is different density of pad for sound. Yes. The stuff I got is actually a keyboard pad. It came like, I got a whole bunch of them. Somebody was closing some store somewhere. A friend of my parents was a computer guy, and he was retiring and closing the store. And actually, I guess he sold it, but I got a whole bunch of it. I got tons. I had sheets of it, and it was, there was a mouse pad. There was a mouse pad standard, whatever it is, like 9 or 10 inches by 5 or 6 inches. There was large mouse pads, and then there was keyboard pads. And the keyboard pads were a full keyboard plus your palm rest. It had like a little angle. I don't really have any more of it, but yeah, it's again, it's not perfect. Everything helps. The foam from the packaging that helps. I mean, not stop it all, but it certainly helps. The only thing you don't want to do is I see all these people with the really really soft, like glue to tennis ball-y kind of thing under there. It's almost too soft. It makes the printer itself vibrate. You don't really want to vibrate the printer. Most printers are good enough today that it really doesn't matter. They're rigid enough that if they do vibrate, the whole printer vibrates as a whole, and it won't affect your print at all or much. But you're better off not having the whole printer shake if you can help it. You just want to stop the oscillation from getting to the floor. So yeah, my actually this one has TPU feet that I printed with. Do I still have the mouse pad? I actually think I took the mouse pad off. Yeah, I took the mouse pad off. I used to have a mouse pad underneath the TPU feet. Then it's got the cabinet, and then it's got the mouse pad underneath the cabinet, on the feet of the cabinet. So yeah, I'm really liking this color combo. It's kind of different, and yet, especially on that looks. You can't really. I don't know. Can you see the gold band in the camera? It doesn't really show up on my screen, but I got this window really really small. But there's two gold bands. There's the bright green, the gold band, the day glow or the glow in the dark, then a gold band, then the bright green again. And that's all manually switched. I didn't time it perfectly, but I got close. Same with this. I do all my switching. Same with all of these. These were all manually switched. Marlin, if you have the current Marlin loaded, you have to activate it. But Marlin has a change filament where you just push the button and Marlin goes through it. This I can do it easy. The Duet, you just hit pause, eject the filament, load new filament, restart, and off you go. But Marlin has a filament changing setting now, and it's had it since 0.17, I think, 0.15. You have to activate it in the advanced mode in your advanced configure file, but it has it built right into it. It'll pop right up if you have a LCD screen with Marlin. It'll pop right up on the LCD. The only thing that's weird is it's not under motion or whatever. It's under tuning. Well, you change your filament under tune. I don't know, but and it does everything. Like I said, it lifts the head, it brings it over into the corner. It actually ejects a filament and then removes it. Waits for you to insert more filament. When you do, you hit the button. It loads it, primes it, asks if it was primed. If it is, it even says clean nozzle, and then it returns to printed. Yeah, well, there's lots of. You can't see like the day glowy, yellowy stuff in the middle. This color, which is a green, but it's a white. It's a pale white. It's white, a little green tint. It's glow in the dark. That's what this is. This is a very old roll of Hatchbox glow in the dark. I've had it forever. I barely ever used it. When I did use it, I only did little itty bitty things. Mostly just nicky knack stuff for people. Mm. These are good. I haven't tried these. Try them. They're really good. I actually like this one the best. Dark chocolate, peanuts, and almonds. Mm. They're all good. somewhat healthy. Lots of nuts. Lots of sugar, too, I'm sure, because that's way too sweet not to be encrusted with sugar. Tastes by a sugar-encrusted glass of store-brand Coke. Yum. So, how long is it saying? Request timed out. What? My duet keeps disconnecting for no apparent reason. No apparent reason. It says we have 2 hours and 33 minutes by filament usage, 3 hours and 19 minutes by file progress, and it's estimating it'll stop around 11:30 to 12:30, depending on which one of those you want to believe. Yay, I'm going to be up until midnight waiting for that thing to finish. Pretend it's like a gen engine running. I always don't have dampeners on it. Closure helps though. Yeah, that's why I got. And I mean, this is still way louder than this. And I think I just got to tune the. I got to go into the farm here and tune the steppers in better because that should be just as quiet as this. Well, part of it is that freaking crap. I hope I don't run out of filament. I just noticed I'm really, 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 really low. Yeah, it's a small print. Really doesn't take much. It's just a little L bracket. This one will work except for I made it. It's literally 1 millimeter too wide, so I can't tighten the eccentric nut up enough to get tight. Saratin's a jet engine. Yeah, they're loud. That's originally why I bought the Duet. And then I also got the Etsy. I didn't even care about any of the Duet stuff other than I wanted quiet. And that is definitely quiet. That's about the quietest one. But the only thing you can hear is that snap, and I don't even know what it is. I'm trying to find where that creak is coming from, and I cannot find it. And I'm waiting for some part to come flying off because it's been doing a lot lately. So I'm waiting for some screw to come loose or one of the printed parts to pop free, something snap free on it because it's creaking an awful lot. Well, this is just a filament going into the extruder, which is very possible. It was doing a lot more with this, and this is like ancient. This roll of glow in the dark I bought in the only roll I ever bought, and even after all of that, I still have more than half of it left. When did I buy this? Let us find out. I think I bought it in early 2016. Let's look. Just for the fun of it. Here, I'll even share the screen so you can see. You know I'm not lying to you. Share. Yeah, I just got those JBL headphones. They were $37. And this thing that I got wicked cheap because they normally want $40. I think I paid $12 for it. It was one of them lightning deals, as it says right there. I like watching those every once in a while. Once in a while, I go on a lightning deal binge. Filament. Amazon Basics, Amazon Basics. This is the one I've never even printed with this. I sent this to Walter down Country 3D along with the AO Robotics when he was out of work there and wanted something. Matchbox TPU. I still have some of this. I still have some of this left. I have most of this left. I bought this in November 2016 for the wood. I'm still going back. There we go. I bought it May 21st, 2016. That's when I bought it. That's how old it is. Let's see. That's the last ABS I bought. That was in 2016. I haven't run that stuff in 3 years. Bought this and gave it away. I could never get this to print back then. Still have this light blue, I think. I know I do. I still have this yellow too. This is actually, if you watched, that's the only yellow I've ever bought. If you watched Glenn's Fun King 3D mailbox thing, I printed it with 3-year-old. I bought this in March 2016, so almost 3 years old. Hatchbox yellow. It's pretty amazing. All this filament now, the reason I'm actually talking about this is especially this glow in the dark. When I was just putting it in Ziploc bags, the last time I tried printing with this glow in the dark was like a year ago, and it would not print. It just popped and snapped and sizzled and smoked out the nozzle. I almost threw it away. And then I bought those stupid dry boxes. And the dry boxes and the Eva dries, and threw them in there. And I have one box that's all my like fancy ones that I don't use all that much, and then I have another box that's all the cheaper PLAs, the hatch boxes, the day-to-day stuff. The other one's got all the like proto pastas and polyalchemies, the expensive stuff, are all in one, and then the cheap stuff's in the other. And I threw it in the bottom of the cheap bucket and left it there. It's been there for like a year since I bought those. No, and it's all. That's my point. Is the dry boxes with the Eva Dry units in them. Probably been in there a year. That prints perfectly. I mean, that glow in the dark. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't see that because I'm screen sharing. Yeah, I mean that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a little rough, but I was printing at 0.22. I'm not even printing at 0.20. I'm printing at 0.22 layer height because it's so big. I mean, the only thing that print better is this freaking gold. This is CC3D bronze. Doesn't look bronze. It looks almost pewter on the computer. It's actually green. It's a tint of, it's like old moldy green color. It's kind of a cool color. Camera makes it look actually bronze, but it's not. It's kind of a green tint. It's a cool color. Not what I expected, but it was a cool color. But that print's like a dream. I mean, you can see, I don't know, can you see the layer ones? I mean, there's no layers on that bronze. It's a silk bronze. You can see the layer lines on the green and the glow in the dark, but it is like perfectly smooth on that bronze. Stuff is awesome, and it's cheap. It was $20, $19. CC3D, not CC Tree, because I actually was looking for CC Tree when I found the CC3D. Yeah, but how old is your CR10? Yeah, again, that's not CC Tree. It's CC3D, not CC Tree. The number 3 and D. I was actually, because everyone was saying the CC Tree was awesome, and I just happened, it was a late night, and I think I was drinking, and I saw it on Amazon, so I hit order, and it looked cool. When I got it, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not CC Tree, that's CC3D. And I ordered from Amazon, which is the only thing that bothered me. Ordered from Amazon, had Amazon Prime, took like 2 weeks to get here because it came from China. So it did not get two-day shipping from Amazon Prime. But it's all right. I really love it. I actually like it so much I bought the copper right after that. I literally had this like one day, and I ordered a roll of the copper too, which did come in 2 days. So I have a feeling whoever is stocking it for them here, I'm assuming they just hired somebody to warehouse it and ship it out for them, which is what a lot of people are. These Chinese companies are doing now. I wish one of them would let me do it. If you're a Chinese company watching this, or any company, and you want a U.S. warehouse, send it to me. Basically, I don't know if you guys get it, but if they send a humongous amount and you store it, and then somebody orders it and they call you up and say, "Hey, ship, a box here and a box there and a box there," and they pay you to basically ship it. You store it for them, and then they pay you to ship it out. That saves them money in shipping because they're only paying the import tax once, and it's much smaller per unit on a larger volume. So it's cheaper for them to send someone like a person or a small company a large volume. The small company stores it and just ships out each individual box when the order comes in. Yeah, the fans are the biggest thing. That's the thing, and they're still the noisiest. Actually, the noisiest thing of all of them is the Meanswell fan on that one. They're both Meanswell printers now. Meanwell power supplies. This is a 12 volt, and that's 24. And actually, that's even louder, but that doesn't kick on very often. The 24 volt, if it kicks on 2 or 3 times during a print, that's unusual. That thing's kicking on in front of right now. Not the loudest, but. And the other thing is, I've noticed. So you can tell, you can see that, but I do have the Noctura fans. But I had other Noctura fans. The original, everybody buys them Noctura, 4010s, 40 millimeter square, 10 millimeter thick, and you do not push enough air to keep a true, to keep the V6 truly cool. It'll work in most cases, but you can get heat creep. I've got 4020s. They're double thick. Those do push enough air, and they're not really any louder. They do draw more juice, but they almost double the amount of air going through them, and they're double thick. Perfect. I think I have another one because I bought. That's all. Those are 5 volt, and I think I bought 12 volt originally. Do I have another one? I thought I had another one right here. I was just looking at it the other day. I know I got one in here. I got one of each. Oh, I just can't find it. I just cleaned up everything. All my storage boxes, all my drawers I cleaned up, have it organized. I can't find anything. Can't find a damn thing. Yeah, the Creality uses cheap crap fans. I mean, the first thing I would do is just go out and get a box of freaking cheap fans. Because even the cheap ones you can buy from like Amazon or any of those places are quieter. The other fan, I got to get the fans. What did I do with the fans? Actually, I just had them all, and I put them all together. I thought, anyways. I got fans with the Yang Yang. I've been testing all kinds of fans. These are ballsy too. This is unusual size. Again, this is the double width. This is instead of the 50-15 or 50-10, this is a 40-30. It's 30 millimeters wide. This thing whips some wicked air out. It's like a jet engine in your room. It's extremely loud, but it pushes way more air than that. Matter of fact, I might put it back on there because it does push a lot more air, even though it's louder. I just put them all in a box like together. All the fans are. Let's and here I am pulling out individual fans in there. There's a whole bag of fans. Oh, these are the ones I just got. Oh, these things right here. These actually push more air than the Nocturas. They're actually just as quiet. And they're noise busters. I originally put these on it because they're purple. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of looks blue, but where it's a purple printer, I had a purple fan. And these are very, very quiet. They push more than the 10 millimeter Nocturas, 10 millimeter wide, but they don't push as much as the 20 millimeter wide. What else do I got in here? Oh, I got more of those. And another one. And another one. And one of these burned out, but it was on that printer from almost the very beginning. It was on that printer almost 2 years. And it finally burnt out. And it didn't really burn out. I actually, stuck my finger in it. And it didn't break the fins. It burned up the motor. I didn't realize I didn't actually stick my finger in it. A piece of filament got in it and stopped it from spinning. And it just smoked the fan. The motor just cooked. It was trying to spin, and yet it couldn't. It just had to go deep, trying to spin. And it was brushless, too, which I'm surprised. It was cheap. I mean, they were only like $8 or $10 for a set of 2 or 3 of them. But they are quiet. Those noise buster fans are actually, in some ways, I actually like them better than Nocturas. If I was, I'm probably going to build another printer, and I will use those in a heartbeat without a second thought over buying more Nocturas. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the Nocturas. They're fine, but those are just nice. What's up, Rover? Who else is coming? Mr. Bootram? Mr. Butt Ram? Gotta do it once in a while. I've been polite lately, so I gotta be obnoxious once in a while. Anyway, so about midnight, that'll be done. Look at that thing. All that time. Oh, wait until you see how much infill there is. I should have just cut the infill way down. I wasn't thinking about it. They're called Noise Buster. Noise Breaker, Noise Buster. I wouldn't say I like them better. Well, yeah, I like them better. I like these better than the. Can you see the label on it? I'm gonna focus on it. Probably not. Hey, now. Let's see if it'll focus on it now. Noise Busters. You can get them on Amazon. They're not like wicked cheap, but they're not expensive. I think they're about half the price of the Nocturas, and they're just as quiet, and they push more air. I shouldn't say they're just as quiet. They're not as quiet, but they're quiet. I mean, the motors make more noise than those things do. The power supply makes way more noise. That's the only thing I don't like about the Meanwell power supplies, is they are so freaking noisy. Yeah, those I think they're called Noise Buster. Here, let's find out when I got them. I'm pretty sure I got those on Amazon too. Go to my Amazon. Amazon stuff. Amazon smile. Not that it matters because I'm just doing an order search. Amazon orders. I bought them a few times. I have burned a couple out, but there's an Nocturus. Now this is what you want are these 20 millimeter ones. They're double thick. That's the 8080 on my power supply. Whisper Fan. Where's the? I know I got them from Amazon. That's not them. That's not them. Oh, here they are. Noise Blocker MB. They're $11. 3,800 RPMs. 3.94 cubic feet per minute airflow. Noise blocker, not buster. That's why I said it voice buster, didn't I? It's noise blocker. Here, not that it'll. Well, you might be able to convert it over to CA. You're in Canada. I don't know if that'll help or not. I do like them, and they are quiet. And they push more air than the Nocturas. Yeah, I bought them. Let's see, I bought them in December 14, 2016, and I bought some more again in August 26, 2017. I bought those when I was building this. And then I bought the 5 volt for that. And then I bought these are 20 millimeter wides. What I don't like, they always tell you how fast they spin. But Noctura never tells you their volume of air. In none of their literature do they give you an air volume. But yeah, this is going to 20 millimeter is definitely 20 millimeter depth. It's definitely increased the volume of air those things do. Yeah, no specs, no, just RPM. They don't tell you how much air they push, which is fine. I mean, I know they're pushing plenty. It's working. Yeah, but even then, it's kind of cryptic and hidden. They really don't like to let out how much air they're pushing. I think it's a deterrent because everyone's paying 3 times as much for the Noctura name, and you know um, they're not really pushing that much air, but they are ultra quiet. Well, like I said, I don't think they're necessarily the quietest because those noise buster ones or Balker or whatever they were, ones are really quiet. Yeah, well, if you click on the, excuse me, here we go again with that. If you still sharing my screen, right? Yeah. If you click on the name up here, it'll show you everything under their brand name that you can find in the. Go back. Oh, that's too far. What happened? Search orders. Yes. So if you open this up, even if you just click on my link, come on. What is the problem? Here we go. And then you can just click on the noise blocker right here. And it'll list everything by them. They can carry out. Again, are you in Canada? For some reason I was thinking you were in um, Australia or something. I don't know. Or Europe. Ultrasonic 1800 RPM 3-pin. Nice, man. Yeah, different fans listed. You're a Canuck. Nothing wrong with that. Other than it's freaking cold up there right now, ain't it? What end are you at? Are you on the west coast or east coast or in between? Whatever that means. 9.4 M greater than 3H flow. Whatever that's supposed to mean. I have no idea what that means. That's what I mean. I mean, they leave it kind of cryptic on how much air they actually flow. Oh, screw that. That's why I'm not really. I actually made a call today for work. This guy wants me to do some really nice work. I don't know if I even want to do it because it might be above and beyond my talents. He wants some really, really, really nice work, like months and months and months of it. It's a very classic. Lots of shaping and ground molding and real fancy artistic trim. Anyway, uh, he was like, "Yeah, let's wait a couple of weeks and let the weather calm down because some of it's outside. We want to go over." Yes, do not want to work outside right now. No, I'm basically I want to be. I want to retire. I was smarter when I was younger. I mean, every year I save money for the winter so I can take basically the winter off. Just kind of putz around. I pretty much always do. But really wish I'd saved more so I could take a lifetime off. I probably sat too far away from the mic. That's why. That one was kind of mumbling. 5.5 cubic feet per minute. So, what size is that? 40 millimeter Arcturus? Yeah, I don't believe that because the noise blocker or buster or whatever they were saying what 3.9, and those push more air. There's no question in my mind they push more air. They definitely push more air. I had no problems keeping that hot and cool with that fan, with those purple fans. It had zero issues. And when I put the regular 10 millimeter Nocturas on it, it was heat creeping. I had to go to these bigger ones, which these are quieter, and they do push even more air. Whatever it is, I don't know, but it's more than the blue ones, but those are more than the regular Nocturas. I thought about that, but that's one of those things we got to hit up Mr. Techie Boy there over in Germany or Sweden or wherever the hell he is. Um, CNC Kitchen Kid there. Keep calling him a kid. He's not a kid. He's in his late 20s, isn't he? Still young. He's a kid to me. I have nieces and nephews that are twice his age. So he's still a kid. Yeah, it all depends on your setup too. That's a really tight airflow setup because you can't see it, but my hot end is one big print. The whole ductwork, the ductwork going into the cold end fins around the V6 hot end around the cooling fins, plus the upper fan. It's all one print, and it's a very tight airflow. And my biggest problem was I wasn't thinking about the air escaping out on the back end of cooling, so it doesn't get as much. When I actually redid it, and I didn't redo it enough, so it wasn't. Because originally I had it going down onto the print, and it was screwing up. So now I have it flowing out, and I have some of it going straight through out the back of the carriage. But it's still not enough. I need to increase the backside airflow off the on it because I got it. Not only that, it doesn't wrap halfway around the cooling unit. It wraps like 2/3 of the way around and then directs it out. So it's not great. Yeah, it's all HTPLAs. Raptor. Oh, Raptor. The whole thing's Raptor. It's going to get replaced soon with something else because I just want to get the Raptor off there because I'm just tired of Maker Geeks. Now I got to deal with this other company. God darn it. That's something I got to do tomorrow now. Any of you guys ever heard of Monofilaments Direct? I thought it was US Monofilaments. US Monofilaments is selling really high end HTPLA through Folger Tech. So I went US Monofilaments, typed it into Google, see if I could find out something about the company. Then up popped Monofilaments Direct, which I thought was the same company. It's not. One's in Vermont, one's in Massachusetts. But it looked like good filament. It was fairly cheap. It was $19 shipped. PLA. They're in Massachusetts. They're less than 100 miles away. So I figured, okay, it's a local company. They're fairly small. I'll help them out. Let's give them a shot, you know? So likely it was PayPal. So I PayPal'd them my $21 after taxes and all that crap. I don't even think it was 21 bucks. And have not heard a word since. And that was 2 weeks ago. No filament, no shipping date, no nothing. I've emailed them twice now, no response. I tried calling them today, and I got you have reached a Google mailbox. We're sorry, you cannot reach this person on your Google mailbox or Google phone mailbox or whatever the hell it was. Some kind of Google phone thing. I was like, great, another fly by night. So I'm gonna have to do the PayPal reclaim. Haven't heard anything, no response deal, and get my money back. Which works, but it usually takes a month or two to get it back out of PayPal. Never not gotten my money back, but that's the only reason it's got my money back out of Maker Geeks. But here we are, another Maker Geeks company. I'm wondering if it's the same freaking dude and he just changed the name of the company. Because it's so. The more I think about it, the website and everything was very Maker Geeky. Yeah, it would be a good idea. Bring a bill. Say, where's my bill? Oh, here's a late fee, too. I've done that a few times. Oh, my old contracts used to have a late fee. After 60 days, I start charging 10% interest on any funds not paid. That makes them quickly pay, or they want to go to court, and then I blow them off from court. Half the time they want to go to court, and they don't show up. Done that a few times on jobs. I'm going to take you to court. Okay, let's go. Here's my contract. It says what I did. I did what I said. And then some. You wanted extras. Those are not part of the contract. Those are extras. There's a reason we write contracts. I'm not paying you for that. I thought you were doing that as a friendly gesture. No, I'm not giving you $2,000 worth of freaking high end maple and oak for free. It's a friendly gesture. Kind of a lot of money, especially on a $5,000 job. I'm going to give you $2,000 worth of material for free. I don't think so. I go to work to make money, not to lose money. Yeah, guy never showed up at court. So the judge awarded me not only the $2,000 he owed me plus, but he also, because usually I do the interest. And I don't get it if I have to go to court over it. He awarded me the interest and everything. And the dude never paid anyways. Actually paid about half of it. But he can't sell his house because I still own it. Do I? Is the lien still on that? I think I might actually taken the lien off. Yeah, no. Just because the school doesn't mean anything. It's even more reason they'll do the bureaucratic shuffle with the paperwork. Oh, well, this person over there has to sign it. Superintendent has to sign it. Then the teacher has to sign that, and the approval hasn't gone through yet. Yeah, I worked at school. They play those games worse than the government than regular government does. Well, that was my next. So you can't really do that. There is a catch in the U.S. at least, or in Connecticut. Um, each state's a little different, but you can take stuff down that's unpaid for after 90 days, but you can't damage existing. And when you hang trim and remove old trim, if I go to remove the new trim, I'm leaving a damaged wall behind, which is actually against the law. I know it sucks, but that's life. Can't leave the property in worse condition than it started in if you repo material. Yeah, no, we've done it with the guy been working for the last couple of years. We've repoed a couple fences. We had one that was funny. We had one of the dogs. We had these two huge German shepherds. We put this big fence up, and he kept them tied up the whole time we were working because that's why he wanted the fence was to let them go free. And so we put the fence up, but while I was doing it, we got to know the dogs. So he was letting the dog, basically during the day, instead of keeping the dogs locked in the house, he was letting them out. He had a little shelter in the house where they could get in, basically get into the basement if the weather was bad, so they're not just stuck outside. And they went through their little doggy door and blah blah blah. But after like 3 months, he didn't pay. We went, fair warning. It's the other thing. We have to give him fair warning. We're going to do it. He didn't believe it. Of course, he thinks we're not going to waste our time to come get the fence. Just chain link. We had a half a day, so we said, "Screw it, let's go get our fence." We went. We took all the fence down, and his dogs ran away, and he was trying to blame it on us. Like, well, it's funny because everyone was thinking, oh, those big German shepherds are going to attack you if you go and take the fence down. It's like, no, they actually like us because we got to be friendly with the dogs while we were building the fence. It's a big fence. It was like a week and a half to put up. I mean, it wasn't that big. It took a long time because there was only two guys working on it. But we took it down in a day. There were six of us taking it down. And we took the whole fence down. He was not happy. Oops, that's what you get for not paying for your fence. Matter of fact, I think my boss is going to have to go to court in another month for that one. He's going to come back for that, I guess. He's in Florida right now. Be sure he said the due date, the court date was next month. Yeah, that's another thing we can't do around here. Can't be pulling electricity on people even if they owe you money this time of year. Here in the winter. Sure. Whatever that's supposed to mean there. Optical cynical. Hearing aids. Okay, that was funny. Ha 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 ha. That's actually kind of funny. I'll have to give you that one. Anyway, so 2 more hours for that thing. It's so short for so much time. It's not tall. It should be tall for all this time. And it's not. It's just flat. God, that thing's got to weigh a lot. I'm really surprised how little filament it's used. Although that was almost a brand new roll. I printed like 3 or 4 very small things off of it. And it's probably a quarter down now. Not quite. And it's mostly just that. And it's not even done, and it's still burning through it. Plus a good chunk of this one. And a good chunk of the bronze, too. I'm going to get more of that bronze. I'm burning through it too fast. I'm liking it. I think I'll try their silver, actually, instead. Next. I'm not buying any filament for a while. I'm going to burn through them all and start lowering my storage of filament. That green is seriously green. They say it's day glow. It'll light up with a fluorescent light. They say. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I'm just saying that's 89% done. With 2 hours and 9 minutes left. And they're both right in the 2 hour mark. So that usually means that's right around when it's actually going to be. So I do like about the Duet. There's some really good fancy features. The only thing it doesn't have, the one thing I still prefer Pi for, is this right here. The Pi has this. This tells me a lot. It tells me what layer I'm on, all that kind of crap, how far up I gotta go, what my heights are. Actually lets me see what the head's doing. We're not on the Duet, which is a real bummer when you're doing the color changing like I have been on these, because having that G code viewer, live G code viewer is see ya. Yeah, that would suck. You need another printer there, Matt. Doesn't and printers are kind of cheap. We're all broke. I guarantee you I'm more broke. That's why I'm not buying any more filament. I really want to do what I don't. I need to burn through some of this. I see about reselling it, but then I kind of want it to print some money. Funny. So you can't even do coins anymore because you can't even do like soda machines and use fake coins because no one take coins anymore. It's all dollar bills. For a soda. That should be done pretty soon. Should be able to build that one back up. Once I get that other one on there. I think I already have the motor mount printed somewhere. I don't think it'll be any trouble at all to screw the head onto this freaking thing. This same thing from Open Builds. about $60. I got this off of Amazon for 12. It's almost exactly the same thing. They actually have one on that, the smaller one, but it's the same thing. And almost $35. You get the three wheels, the three wheels and a little plate for $35, which that's just ridiculous. Sorry, I like open builds, but man, that's just ridiculously overpriced. I mean, I know their stuff's a little higher quality and everything, but that's just overpriced. And that will definitely be smoother than. I don't know if you guys can hear that thing grinding over there, but it makes a lot of noise. And everything should line right up. The only thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to change. I'm actually going to put the motor. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? What happened? Why isn't it focused? Oh, it's focused on something else closer. The motor on this is on this side, which is home. So when this thing's homed, the weight of both motors are on that lead screw. Thinking about taking that motor with this setup and putting it on that side and the tension on this side. So when it homes, there's the main motor, the extruder motor on this side, and the X motor on that side. That way each lead screw is carrying generally one motor. Kind of makes more sense, doesn't it? Because I have noticed every once in a while I have to pull this thing out. I don't know if you guys know what this thing is, but it's a leveling stick. It makes sure the X carriage is level left to right. You just basically stick this thing under there and, put the X carriage on top of this, do it on the left side and on the right side. And if one isn't, you unplug the motor and you spin the motor and level it out. It's awesome. It's a beautiful tool. Everyone should have one of these if you're using a dual lead screw i3 style printer. They're awesome. But it always sags on the left side because of all the weight. Like if I turn it off and then turn it back on, I have to reset the level because that lead screw will always drop with all the weight on it if I let it sit for a long time. Yeah, but it's carrying the weight all the time. Granted, only at home is it completely evenly distributed, but that's when it's killing the power or dropping the lead screw. It's mostly at home. Like I said, right now, the left side, that side that both of them are on, almost always sags over a couple 3 days. Like I haven't leveled it in like 2 days. If I fire up another print, I can almost guarantee you, if I use this thing, it'll be slightly sagged on that side. Which is normal. People don't realize with double lead screw ones that's almost normal. Yes, it has two Z motors. That's my point. It's not like a Ender 3 or one of the Crealities where it only has the one Z screw. It's got two Z screws. So if all the weight is on the one Z screw, it's gonna drop. That one Z, when you turn the power off, when that motor relaxes, that side drops because all the weight's there. And I have my ending G code homes everything when it's all done. Well, homes X and Y. It doesn't home Z. It did home Z once. I think I did it on a live stream, didn't I? Got to the end, and then all of a sudden the hot end's plowing into the print. That's always fun. I don't think it'll make a big difference. The other thing that it'll make me happy about is there's the one wire that runs all around the printer for no reason, which I can shorten that right up because the motor will be right there next to the board. Nope, there's no mechanical linkage other than the X arm. New. I thought about that, and the one thing you don't want to do, and everyone does it, is you do not want to secure those the top of the lead screws. Actually, if you see, I have my lead screws. I was gonna do it. I bought extra long lead screws so I could put a belt up there and go across with a belt. You actually don't want to do that because that's when you start putting Z wobble in. If there's even the slightest bend in those, which there aren't right now in those two, but you start pressurizing them and bowing them in, or putting a bearing up at the top. You should never put a bearing at the top of the lead screw. Everyone thinks that's a great idea and it stabilizes the lead screw. Lead screw doesn't need to be stabilized. All it's doing is lifting. Not supposed to do any left or right or front to back stabilization. It should all be done by either rods or your rails if you've got like an Ender 3 that rides on the rails. Yeah, belts have give, not that much. It would be truer if I could put a belt through it. I've been actually thinking about lowering the motors and putting a belt underneath the bed, which I can do. It wouldn't be actually all that hard to do. But being honest, I'm about done with that printer altogether. Um, I would like to. I can't decide. I'm almost thinking of building a smaller one of these, or almost just almost thinking about getting like an Ender 5 and using it as a base. I wouldn't, I would build it as Ender 5 just to see it, but I would probably up just like this. There's nothing left on it that's original. Literally nothing. The only thing that's left on this that's original are the actual aluminum and the black feet. These little black feet. There's the only black part left on it that's printed. Everything else I've remodded, changed. Even the rods. It doesn't even have rods for a bed anymore. It's got a wheeled bed. Yeah, it's getting tired. And it's not. I mean, it's still a good printer. It's a really good printer. I'd almost rather sell it. You know, I mean, I don't know. I can't decide. The problem is I'd have to sell it for more than it's worth, really, because it's got the IZ board on it. So that's 150 bucks or 110 bucks or whatever that was right there. Granted, it's not worth that much use, but 24 volt real means well power supply. You know, I'd have to get $200 or $300 for it used to make it even worth selling it. And again, someone can just get a brand new Ender 3 with a warranty. That's bigger. It only does 190, 190, 170. Do I think this is better than an Ender 3? Yes, but barely. It could be a lot better if somebody really wanted to sit down and screw with it. But I think somebody that knows more about the electronics can pull more out of that INC board than I am. I mean, basically, it's a MK3 when you get right down to it. It should be better than an MK3 because that's why I originally bought this. This frame is way better than the MK3 frame. I don't care. It's the only thing I can't stand about the Prusias are his frames. I don't know why he's stuck on those stupid sheet aluminum towers. They're wobbly and they're insecure. And then he went to the 2020 or 20 or 30 rails on the bottom and cut them in half in the middle. It's like, oh, that's not a weak spot or anything. I don't get that. Why even do that? It's just more work during assembly. It's more work for them to cut them up. It's more. Why not just make them like this? This thing is just a 2020 square with a 2020 square screwed together. Done. Solid as a rock. And really, even though I've replaced a lot of these parts, they're basically the same thing. None of the layout has changed, except for the bed, where I put the bed on wheels. Because same reason I'm doing it here, I couldn't stand the grind of the linear bearings anymore. I've greased them and replaced them, and it's not worth it. And I absolutely do not like the Angus bearings. Those are just stupid. There's way too much drag in them things. Oh, they move beautifully. Yeah, not. No, I won't get my money back out. But I do need to get a reasonable return rate on it, which I'll never get. I mean, even used, that thing's easily worth $300 or $400 as it sits right now. It's all 24 volt, even the bed. I mean, it heats up that bed. That's actually a really nice bed. Um, it heats up the bed to 70 or 100 degrees in like 3 to 5 minutes, like really fast. Nice hot end. I'll take the that's the other thing, and I don't want to replace it yet because I'll actually take the MK3 over to V6. I like it better. Or MK8, excuse me, not MK3. MK8 hot end. You're doing flexibles and PLA, the direct path, direct drive. Those are right. I mean, it caps out at 40 millimeters a second. I've done 50, but it gets sloppy over 40 because it's printing at 35 right now. That's its setting. It never gets there with that small of a piece, but yeah, it is what it is. And I put bigger motors on it. The Z motors are much larger than what were on there. The same thing I have on this one. They're, I don't know, 80 ounce or whatever instead of the 45 ounce. They're bigger, taller, more powerful. 2Z motors. I think I did the X motor too, didn't I? No, X motor's still original. Y motor's still original. So it's just the 2Z motors I replaced with much bigger ones. Much bigger. How much longer has that thing got to take? It has 60%, about an hour and a half left. Yep, that ain't happening tonight. I was hoping to put this together tonight. Not on, but together. That's the other thing I got on there. That's got all Delron these screw nuts, and they're actually seeing the CNC ones. Um, they're not 3D printer ones. They're CNC machine ones. So it's a much bigger the actual disc that you screw this piece right here. But this way you can actually see it here. You look, I have to knock it out because the screw pattern is bigger. The center hole is bigger. The whole nut is bigger than standard 3D printer ones. They're much more solid. And they're quieter. Brass. Much more accurate because they don't slop like brass. You do have to be more true with your lead screws. Your lead screws have to be perfectly parallel because they will bind if they don't. It doesn't have a perfect path to travel up and down. They bind because they're perfect. There's zero slop in those things. Well, I haven't checked them in, oh God, they've been on there a year and a half, 2 years now. I definitely would go ahead and one too. I'm not doing brass lead screw nuts ever again. If I don't have to. They're loud, they're sloppy. They're heavy and not as good. They are a boatload cheaper. But no, I will definitely never get my money back, that's for sure. So where is everybody else tonight? I've seen Robbie Mac. Any of them guys. I want to get in with Ed, but every time he wants to stream, it's like right in the middle of me doing something. He wants to stream in the afternoon, early afternoons, and I'm always doing crap then. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it, guys. It's been an hour. Nobody's around. Just babbling to myself. Babble, babble, babble. My printers are printing. We'll post a picture of that monstrosity tomorrow at some point. I'm actually going to do a whole video with it and post that all up hopefully tomorrow afternoon. I still have a lot of editing for it. And I have to try and spin that thing. It's freaking huge. I don't even know if the thing's going to spin. I'm a good babbler. I am a good babbler, unfortunately. I can babble with the best of them. I need to change this handle grip. It's not really balanced well. I really like that one. I wish the print hadn't come out so bad. No, Walter has the gift. He's better at it than I am. You know how long that thing spins. I barely got it started. I didn't really give it any push. It's still spinning. And that thing's pretty heavy. And that's a 10%. That's a 20%. Although I did with this one, I did that right at the blue and the red ring here. I went, it's 10%, and then right in the middle, it's 40% infill with 6 shells. So the very center outer ring here is real heavy and thick, and it goes all the way through it with a nice thick layer. Oh. So it should have a good gyroscopic spin because of the center of balance and weight and whatever all that is. Centrifugal force crap. Sciencey stuff. Which that thing should have no problems too, because I did, even though it's wow, that thing is cool. It's big, stupid top, and it is cool. I did do the shell increase there, the middle of the 20 millimeters in the middle of it. It's 43 millimeters tall, I think, and at 15 to 25, I think. No, yeah, 15 to 25, I think. I did 6 shells instead of 3. So it should make the outer rim of it heavier. I get spin and balance better. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to go. Done babbling. Need to put the printer back over in the corner and let it print. See you guys. Have a good night.